Hey everybody, it's Alex, healthhacksreview.com. So this is a quick video on a product that you probably have not heard about. And you may have heard of a similar type of product out there called the AlterG Zero Gravity Treadmill. Very expensive. Probably heard about them because they've done so much marketing and advertising, spent a ton of money with them, offline and online. But I'm here today to basically let you know about a different product out there that really can put the same similar type of effect therapeutically to you, that enables you to do certain things or to help your clients in certain ways. It makes it much more affordable. So this product is called the LightSpeed Body Weight Support System. This was developed by a physical therapist in Michigan, Malcolm McCauley, many years ago. And they hardly really do a lot of advertising on the internet. As we know, it's kind of an essential thing to get your name out there. But they definitely do the track of expos and health expos and those types of conventions and those types of situations. So you may have come across them there. But essentially, the name itself, the body weight support system, gives you a little bit of an idea of that they are. And this comes back to the whole idea of if you reduce the load of weight on the joints, on the body, will this be able to assist you with rehabilitation or training or new functional skills or performance, pushing yourself to the next level? The answer is definitely yes. That's why we've seen so much success with underwater training, underwater treadmills, underwater exercise, and then also more recently, in a few years past, is the zero-G, zero-gravity sort of treadmills. There's also another near-close competitor. Those are $50,000 to $70,000 elaborate systems. But I'm gonna talk about this product real quick because it's just a couple grand. It's closer to that area, a little over 2,000. So this can actually put this type of therapeutic effect into the hands of your average consumer, or if you want to bring it into your center. The truth about why you may not want to go and get some $50,000 piece of equipment, initially anyways, right off the bat, is that if you actually look at the studies, as far as what an athlete, let's just keep it very simple, what an athlete might need, for example, or somebody who's basically had an injury that's affecting them from exercising, or is basically mainly, and when I say an injury, it's going to be regarding the lower body for the most part, or possibly the spine as well, that's affecting walking or movement. For these types of individuals, obviously their gait is way off. They're compensating, which is of course leading to new functional problems as well. The recovery time is very slow. But for 90% of these different types of varied conditions that it can affect movement, right, functional movement and recovery, for about 90% of them, what they found really in the consensus in the field, as well as studies in movement science, biomechanics that have been going back the last couple decades, is just being able to reduce a person's body weight by 30 to 60 pounds. It depends, of course, how much they initially weigh, right? But usually just within that range of 30 to 60 pounds, just a few percentage points. And actually the majority, just like 30 to 40, 45 pounds, is enough reduction in load to basically be of great assistance to 90% of the different types of, again, functional injuries out there, or to be of great assistance in majorly boosting performance training. So it's really just a much smaller percentage of weight. To have to reduce somebody's weight 80% plus, what's that need? Is there a need to really reduce 80%? Absolutely, but we're talking about a much smaller criteria, essentially, of individuals that need to reduce their weight much more significantly. So you may be one of those people. Depends on what your actual condition is, or if you're a health practitioner thinking about offering this type of unique training to clients or therapy to your clients. then just keep that in mind, that for the vast majority of them, they don't need some elaborate system to reduce weight, to 80% less or more. Okay, so that's an important point here. So again, if you're thinking about, going into some very expensive track of setting up a whole underwater motorized treadmill system, or going for like a zero gravity sort of effect, you really may want to take a serious consideration of going with this type of product first initially. Okay, because again, it's going to be appropriate for 90% of the folks that you try to help, you come across. Costs a couple thousand, right? Not a big deal. And then at that point of really working with people, and then it's also, of course, this type of functional therapy. There is also that learning curve and learning how to market it to existing patients or clients. Once you kind of get all that smoothed out and you see the results and you see how you feel and see who you're helping, who maybe you're not helping quite as much as you want, at that point, that's when you really turn around and say, do I need to consider something, more elaborate here? Do I need to consider maybe like a really expensive, motorized underwater treadmill or something like that? And then go through all the financing and all that kind of stuff. That's really the wise track that have been able to assist a lot of different centers and clinics and individuals even go down that path. And again, the numbers actually match up to that. Probably 80–90% of the time, what happens is the practitioner or the individual realizes that they just really needed that, smaller percentage, that smaller reduction in weight. And that was more than enough to really allow them, to run farther, to run longer, to not have to compensate for a specific injury quite as much. There's so many different, benefits to it. And in my other video, you'll see just a basic analysis of a before and after about how just reducing the weight load, 30 pounds, 40 pounds, can really make a significant impact, literally, and difference on one's gait in a basic gait analysis. And actually, in the very near future, I am going to have done in the very near future, next couple months, more of like a very in-depth gait analysis with this product, using lasers and cameras and all that kind of stuff. That is, I think, going to be helpful. It's not absolutely necessary to try this product out and see what you think about it initially, but it'll come back with some pretty good information to show that essentially that this product is pretty sufficient and a good first step before considering a more expensive type of system setup. And essentially, the system is very simple. It took a while, of course, to get it right without affecting the person's gait in a bad way, right? But to just do what it's supposed to do in a balanced, functional manner and reduce the weight and not restrict movement or alter it in an unnatural way. And so the system will be able to go around any treadmill that you already may have. So you can go ahead and get whatever your favorite treadmill is or use your existing. And the only thing that will sometimes matter is the width of the treadmill. But the system can completely go around any standard treadmill out there at all, for the most part. And essentially, with the frame that goes around the treadmill, you then have a harness system that you can wear, which so comes with an existing pants, if you will, shorts that you can put on. But if you don't want to go through that hassle of having to put on a harness per se, like existing shorts on top, or to take your shorts off and go into this system, which sometimes can be a hassle in a commercial setting, then there's also a harness system that does not require putting on the specialized shorts and can just go right on top of any existing pants or shorts you might be already wearing, so you don't have to change out or anything like that. You can kind of think in your mind like if you've ever seen people do rock climbing, or go up a rock climbing wall, and that type of like harness that they wear on their pants. It's a much more comfortable, way better designed, obviously for biomechanical reasons, version of that, I guess you could say. So there's a couple options there, And even if you work with individuals who are very, very overweight, very, very obese, that's okay. There's no limitation here. So I have a lot of, like weight loss clinics who deal with, I've seen individuals that are much higher weight than average. And, for them, they have a lot of health challenges and a lot of challenges, of course, around exercise and a lot of times existing injuries because of that weight. So this can very much help them, of course. At the same time, I have a lot of athletes and trainers and coaches especially using this to rehabilitate athletes who have an injury. I also have a lot of people that are just love running. They just love that form of exercise. And as they get older, running can beat up your body in the long run. And so this has allowed them to really continue to run much longer than they normally could and not have any issues. Or if they had an existing injury that prevented them from exercising sufficiently, running as far as they want to, again, this is fantastic for them. For individuals who have had severe injuries where they're just sitting a lot, and generally sitting around is, it's needed for certain phases of healing, but after a while, the sooner you can get off your feet and start really using your body and your nervous system and getting that active again, the recovery times, of course, shoot through the roof. So when you can shave off that much weight, then that means that, wow, pretty soon you can get somebody on their feet and start to get some movement back. And then again, you can do it for a really affordable price. So I love this device. There was some other system out there a long time ago that wasn't really even close. They had a similar concept, but there's no other basic device that I find out here that is equivalent to what this does. And again, the only other options out there, you go down the 50,000 to 75,000 basically track. 45, it's somewhere in that range of going with zero gravity or going with motorized sort of underwater sort of system, which again might not be something that you absolutely require. So again, if you have any questions about this in particular, feel free to reach out to me. If you feel like you need to get a little bit more detailed, talk about a specific condition, and if for some reason I can't really help you with that, you're always welcome, of course, to speak to a physical therapist, one of my associates, to dive a little bit more into detail of your case history and that type of thing. And be happy to help you. If you have any more questions about this awesome product, feel free to send me a message or set an appointment time or just try to give me a call on my phone line. And anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks.